Jen Amos here. Just wanted to give a quick announcement and let you know that if you are listening to this via podcast, we actually have a video for this podcast episode. And part of why Nani and I had decided to do video is because we are going to be giving you a walkthrough of our website, biasboba.com. So go ahead and join us via YouTube. You can just check out the show notes of this episode to find the video version of this episode. And stick around to the end of our conversation today, where I will be giving you a walkthrough of biasboba.com and how you can support us if you're interested in supporting us financially. Either way, your continual support, whether it's reaching out to us via text, email, joining our free Discord community, has been really, really incredible and humbling. And so you're going to hear all about it in this episode today with Nani and myself. So thank you so much for watching, and please enjoy today's conversation, a bonus episode for you here at TFAW Project. Enjoy. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to the Filipino American Woman Project. I am your creator co-host, Jen Amos. And as always, I have my incredible co-host who does a lot for our show. I mean, we both do a lot, but just fill in the blank of everything she does and put that as her title. And Nani Dominguez. Nani. Nani, welcome back to TFAW. We're doing a bonus episode today.
Thank you. And for the bonus Tsismis, it's Nani Dominguez Smith now.
Ooh, love it. Oh, and you have your microphone again. So if people are watching via video, she has her microphone and it sounds great.
Thank you. And starting next time we record, you guys will be getting lots of like ASMR vibes now that I have my mic hooked back up, because I just don't have snacks with me today, but typically I do. So look forward to that.
I was going to say, you don't have snacks today. I'm the one with snacks today, actually.
I know.
So.
I do. They're just out there. And it was so much to get this working that I just
it was like
I
way
didn't
too much
have time.
Yeah. Well, we're really excited to give you all this bonus episode today because June happens to be actually not really June. We're kind of like late on this, but June is sort of important because June is actually the first month where we released an original episode on biasboba.com. But essentially, we are celebrating the 1-year anniversary of Tsismis with Jen and Nani on biasboba.com. So Nani, yay. Let me give a couple of dates here just to kind of backtrack. So biasboba.com, or at least the first episode of Tsismis with Jen and Nani, which is a private podcast episode for our biasboba.com members. The first episode that ever came out was on April 16th, 2021. And this was like the archived episodes that we did for Facebook Live and all that with the Filipino Momcast. So we released a series of what they did live onto Tsismis with Jen and Nani. But then the first original episode that we did, Nani, was actually for Father's Day for you and your dad, which came out on June 20th, 2021. So
I almost forgot.
Yeah. So any opening thoughts on, here we are a year later, having produced, give me 1 second, let me look this up, having produced 30 episodes at the time of this recording.
Whoa.
And yeah, here we are a year later. And we usually released an episode like every other week, like bi-weekly. So it's interesting because initially I was kind of like, oh, this is like kind of running slow in a way. I mean, not really. I'm not really thinking that. I'm highly caffeinated right now, y'all. So just heads up. But
it just wasn't as fast paced as we had done TFAW in the past. So I think maybe that's what you were comparing it to.
Yeah, exactly. So when we first started TFAW, we used to release like an episode like almost every 5 days. And then we started to like pace ourselves by once a week. And then now, because a lot of our time is focused on biasboba.com and our Discord community, which we'll have in the show notes here and talk more about a little later, we've been busy. And nowadays, especially this year, 2022, we have only been releasing bonus episodes on TFAW because, again, we've been busy offline doing multiple projects and doing other things and really engaging with our community. But again, 1 year later, Nani, how do you feel? How's it going 1 year later after launching biasboba.com?
Well, first and foremost, I just feel really grateful for our community kind of like ebbing and flowing with us from, the podcast platform is obviously our main platform, but it's not the only platform that we're on. And like you said, we've been busy. So we have been kind of moving our community engagement around a lot and also just expanding it. So, we started with just our newsletter and our website. Now we have biasboba.com. Now we have Discord. We have all these things. We have a Google Voice number, all of those ways to stay in community that we just want to make accessible to you guys so that you can stay in touch with us, because we're not recording so often anymore. And we want to, continue those relationships that we have built with you guys and continue to water them and nurture them and build community with you all, but as true to our mission in like new and unconventional ways. So I appreciate that you guys have kind of bopped around with us from all these different places that we show up and continue to, and just for your participation and contribution to this project. And my second thought is that we have to get my dad back on the show.
Yes. Uncle, we're coming after you.
Yeah. I don't know if Father's Day is too soon, because I didn't realize that was in like just a couple weeks. But
yeah.
At some point, we got to get him back on here to do a round two so you guys can see I think that he will be a little more comfortable this time, showing us his true colors.
Yeah.
Not that he didn't last time, but, he will just probably speak a little more candidly at this point.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are my only thoughts for right now.
I'd like to add to your initial thoughts for our community. And we were talking about this offline. I'm kind of in a season in my life now where I've been working really hard on multiple projects. And I often feel like I'm kind of shooting in the dark. And now I'm in a place where I have a number of people in my life who see value in my work and actually want to invest like time and resources into furthering my projects. And obviously, between you and I, in addition to doing biasboba.com and Tsismis with Jen and Nani, I mean, we're expanding. We're talking about a business partnership together in which you all will learn more about on Tsismis with Jen and Nani. Get all the Tsismis there. But it's beautiful to be in a place where, how do I want to say this? When I first started podcasting, I'm always reminded of how I started it. I started it out of like loneliness and depression, having been new to the East Coast. And even in the last 4 years of being here, having moved 3 times and having struggled, like finding my own footing, but most of all, feeling seen. Mm-hmm. And it's interesting to be in a space now where not only do I know that I'm being seen, through all of our listener feedback and emails and our Discord community, but I have people who want to support me, want to support us. And I'm kind of at that like crossroads where it's kind of like, okay, do I evolve? And kind of what you mentioned offline, Nani, I know you can help me better explain this. It's like, do I evolve and be confident in what I have to offer to the world now and like know that people want to help me because they see value in me? Or do I still hold on to feeling unseen? Maybe even struggling with the imposter syndrome. Like, does that make sense?
Exactly. I think that's what I was going to say is I think you've just come to a place where you finally overcome that imposter syndrome and you're finally just okay taking up space in these spaces that you're in and saying, yeah, this is what I do. This is who I am. This is why you should invest in me. And actually to go beyond that, you've experienced your audience essentially listening to you say that and say, yeah, you're right. This is really valuable content. This is really the opposite of detrimental. Why am I stumbling on my words right now? But this is really beneficial to our community. Like our community really needs this. This is food for our community that we can all eat off of. And so in the name of that, I'm willing to invest my money in you and I believe in you. And instead of you saying, oh shit, do I even believe in myself? Like, is that what an honor? You're saying, no, this is my responsibility and I know how to take care of it. And that's why, I'm receiving this response. And I think that's a really powerful place to be in. For I think another really common theme that we have heard over the course of the TFAW Project podcast show is the theme of imposter syndrome. No matter who it is, what they're doing, whether it be a student, a working professional, a mom, it's always the imposter syndrome at some point. And so to be able to overcome that and go beyond that to actually function with that new confidence that you've gained is really special and really meaningful and significant. So you should be really proud of being able to say that you've arrived here,
Well, thanks, Nani. And in addition to what you said and thanking our community for just, I don't know, just coming along the crazy ride that we've had together on the show. I have to thank you as well. And I know that we like overly thank each other all the time, but I think it's important to constantly
People
do
are
that.
probably so annoyed whenever we're like, thank you, Nani. Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Nani.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jen. But it's real.
Yeah.
We do that when we're not recording too.
Exactly. Like expressing gratitude is as important as your hygiene. You know, it's like, I mean, I know
Mhm.
that since COVID, like people don't shower every day. I mean, maybe now that people are out and about, but the point is that like I do want to express gratitude whenever I have that self-awareness too.
Yes.
And we had a whole hour's worth of just business talk before you and I started recording here. And I'm just so appreciative of how willing we both are to adapt to the growth of this project
Mhm.
and bounce ideas off each other and validate each other and support each other.
Yeah.
I'm just grateful. I really am. And I don't know what else to say other than I'm grateful. And it's my goal to not just say I'm grateful, but to show it through our actions in the way that we grow on the show.
Yeah. And I think it's also really important to note, like, in the name of us kind of expanding and growing with this project and taking our community along for the ride, so to speak, I think that people may have listened to the podcast in the past and were really avid listeners every 5 days, every 2 weeks,
Hmm.
however often we were putting episodes out. And now maybe the narrative is like, oh, they don't record anymore. Oh, they don't post anymore. And that is not true. So I just want to state that we are very much active in TFAW Project endeavors. It's just not being posted on the TFAW Project platform because we've moved it to Tsismis with Jen and Nani on buyusboba.com. We've moved it to, this new expansion that we'll be announcing on Tsismis with Jen and Nani. We have moved it to our Discord channel where you can get in touch with us in an instant and stay in kind of constant contact with us. We have just evolved what it means to be in community with you guys. And that's something that we always talked about when we were recording regularly, was that we wanted to be accessible. We wanted to get to know you guys. We wanted to connect with you on a deeper level than just posting content on a podcast and hoping that you guys hear it. We wanted to actually hear from you too, and
Hmm.
involve you in this process. And so that's what we've done. And so again, even if it shifts, from time to time, we're appreciative that you guys have stuck along for the ride, and just know that we have even more in the name of building a self-sustaining community for Filipino Americans. We have so much more in store.
That's a mic drop. Yeah. And just so our community knows, like Nani and I dedicate Friday afternoons, kind of 2 hours max, really, to work on this. And we never have enough time. We never have enough time to talk shop and to actually do recording. And I think that's a good thing. I love how busy we have become. And more importantly, how much more we've been working smart as opposed to working hard. Like,
Yes.
for example, we are now, like, you all are going to meet our upcoming community manager, Patricia, soon. She
Yes.
is going to be more involved in our engagement overall, whether it's on social media or in our Discord community. We even talked offline about giving her an email, like an official email.
Yeah. We
And
have to
so,
make it official.
yeah, so we're going to make it official. So we'll probably include her contact info in the show notes here so you all can say hi and welcome her to the community. She's always actually been behind the scenes, but now we wanted to give her more, what do you call it? Like more of a bigger role in working with us, more of like community facing role, I
Yes.
think. So you'll get to know a little bit more about her and, just be on the lookout for that. And I'm just super grateful to her for also believing in our project and wanting to contribute to it in the best way that she can. Overall, it's just so nice to like visually see people who want to support us. And with that being said, Nani, I think this is a great opportunity to talk about biasboba.com for people who haven't heard about it yet, or people are hearing about it for the first time. Originally, I wanted to do like a screen share, but I think it's just probably easier to talk through it because at least on this thing, we can't do a screen share. I just realized that. But
Oh,
I think it's
yeah.
good to talk about it and let people know, like when you visit biasboba.com, what to expect. And so really the reason why we're talking about biasboba.com is this is really the vehicle that helps us like fund our entire project, the TFAW project, Tsismis with Jen and Nani, and even like our future endeavors. And so if anyone ever asks us like, hey, how can I support you guys? How can I help you guys? Like, honestly, the easiest answer first and foremost is to support us on biasboba.com. So I know that Hero's in the background. Are you okay? I hear him crying. So
I wasn't sure if you could hear it.
yeah,
Let me
I
mute
wasn't sure if you
myself.
wanted to be like selective, like, okay, do I save him or not? So I just want to check in with you.
Yes, I'm trying to be selective. My mom's out there with him right now, so he's okay.
Okay.
I
He's okay,
am
Nani.
reaffirming myself that he's
Yes.
okay.
You're going to be okay. You're not abandoning him.
Thank you. Thank you. I needed that. See, I just need someone who can tell me, a little bird on my shoulder.
You're okay.
Okay, I will mute.
I can
You
hear him.
continue.
And so I'm just like, okay, I can hear him.
Okay, that's how good this mic is, you guys. Okay, the doors close and everything.
This is live, y'all. We're like recording live. I mean, not live. We're going to get it edited, but this is like real life here. Nani, anything you want to add about what it means in general for people to support us on biasboba.com? What has it meant for you?
I mean, it's meant everything. We couldn't be doing what we're doing now if it wasn't for your support. There's no way that we could have Patricia working with us. There's no way that we could have Dennis edit the show, which he's been doing from the very beginning. So yeah, it's really been an amazing process to watch the show evolve from just us showing up and word vomiting on the mic, which is what I feel like I used to do in the earlier days. And that's okay, because that was really cathartic for me. I needed that. And apparently a lot of other people needed to hear that too, so that they could come on the show and do the same thing, or go into their own spaces and do the same thing. And that was, maybe sounds like a small feat for some people, but for us in this community, it really means a lot. And so again, the reason why we want to be on Discord, or we want you to email us or text us or leave us a voice message, or however you want to get in touch with us, is because your participation and your contribution to this project matter. And it wouldn't be what it is today, or any of the other spin-off things that we've done with it today, without that, your part in it. So it means everything.
I love that you said that. And it's true. Like, the show is a living and breathing organism, and it grows based on how everyone contributes to it. Just like what you said, Nani, whether it's how you contact us, how you message us, and also how you financially support us, it tells us like what you value, and it tells us like that you trust us.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's been really interesting to have spent this year to openly say, hey, support us on biasboba.com. Almost a year, if not a year and a half ago, even before we came up with this concept, it was actually really hard for me to ask for that, Nani. Like, I felt like I had to be like, and this is just maybe my upbringing. I felt like I had to be self-sacrificial. I felt like I had to, pay out of my own pocket to do the show. And I so repelled people wanting to support me. And actually, this actually brings me back to like how my mom receives money. So I remember like, there's been many times growing up, and I think this is why I often like repel it if people even want to offer it. There are many times where people wanted to support my mom. They'll say, hey, let me cover the check, for dinner, or hey, here's some money here's some money as whatever holiday gift. And she's like, oh no, immediately she'll just repel it. She's like, oh no, it's okay, I don't want it. And I grew up with that. I grew up with like, oh no, let me give, but I don't get anything in return. And so this last year of us just like slipping in biasboba.com whenever we talk, like at first it felt weird for me. And now it's like, hey, support us on biasboba.com. We got cool people on there, actually. We got cool members and supporters. And I got to tell you, Nani, I'm really grateful that our community supports us. And if anything, celebrates that. And it's like, yeah, you do deserve that. So it really means a lot, like to kind of reflect and be like, wow, like that's where I was coming from. I was coming from that fear of like, hey, like I put money into this, but I also deserve to like let it become self-sustaining. I can't keep like trying to fund it on my own. And now this whole year we have been financially sustainable, and we continue to be. And also we're smart with the money. So I think that's part of it too. We didn't just blow it off,
No. And we never will, because that's not, this project means way more to us to be so irresponsible, like it means you guys don't just give us money and we like take it and go buy a boba,
Yeah, we don't actually do that.
Although it's called biasboba.com, we still buy our boba out of our own pockets.
Yeah. we don't write it off.
We don't write it off. Not yet, at least.
Although I think we should. I think just for tax
I think it
purposes,
would be totally accurate.
Yeah,
I mean, we have the domain. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
We can prove it.
We can justify it. That's true. But anyway, you were saying.
But I mean, I was just thinking like last year, like the year before, when we were really into like recording on the TFAW Project, before we had started TJN and everything, I feel like people used to hound us about, why don't you monetize the show? Why don't you have ads? Like, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? And you said, I think we both have that instinct to like repel it and say, oh no, we don't deserve that for some reason.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now it's like, oh, we have been introducing ourselves to doing ads with biasboba.com, and it's shown itself to be fruitful, and it's not maybe offensive or abrasive in the ways that we might have originally thought it was going to come off. Like you said, we're realizing, oh, people do actually value this content. It's not just us asking for money. It's like people actually do want to support this project and they do want to fund its growth, you know? And so why don't we make that a part of our community engagement? Why haven't we? And just because we haven't, again, in the traditional form of like putting ads on the show, like, by the way, you're welcome that you never have to listen to any ads on this show.
Yeah,
You know,
you are welcome.
yeah, you're welcome. This is where that comes from, because now we're understanding the reason why people do that.
Yeah.
You know, and more importantly, that we are no different than said people. Like, we deserve it just as much as everybody else that's on podcasts doing ads. So there's my self-fulfilling prophecy for the day.
Yeah. No, I love that you said that. And it's so interesting because when I knew that I wanted to be a podcaster, I like dove in deep in the podcasting community. You know, I went to the podcast conferences. I even spoke at a couple of them. And it was interesting because I remember the workshops that were the most crowded were usually about how to monetize the podcast. And it was really difficult for me to like understand that, you know? And now we're in a place where it's like, oh, I get it now. And I think a lot of it has to do even just with my own personal development and just this year alone, you know, since Scott and I have really like settled somewhere and I've been really aggressive with like kind of putting myself first this year. And now I can see it. I can see that value. And I just want to thank you, Nani, and our community for just believing in me. And because I have started many projects in my 12 years of being self-employed.
Yeah.
And a lot of them didn't become fruitful. And so to know that the whole project started in 2016 and to see where it is today, of course, I can say that, oh, we have such a long way to go. But you know what? I'm enjoying the journey so far and I'm enjoying like where we're at in the journey.
Yeah, same. And we are not any one experience. You know, you are not any of those failed projects. Neither is your identity based on this project, you know, just because it's successful. Like, we are the sum of all our experiences. And sometimes we get caught up in, you know, why something didn't work or what we did wrong or, you know, oh, we failed. Like, we get caught up in that. And it takes someone else, an outside perspective, to remind us that doesn't define us. We're still fully capable of being successful and we still are fully deserving of it. And so there's no reason not to dust yourself off and try again. There's no reason not to think about how we should pivot and evolve the show in new and innovative ways. Like, there's no reason why we shouldn't do that, even if, you know, some people might not understand it or some people might not agree with the approach. You know, like, that's how we've grown. That's our model, is that we're all figuring it out together, and that's what we live.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Nani. I felt like you just mothered me just now, and I love it.
Like, anytime.
You're not your failures. Oh, I love that.
I'm getting used to the mom thing, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
10 months later.
Almost 1 year since you officially became a mom.
I know. Isn't that wild?
Yeah, that just blows my mind where we're at. While we're on the biasboba.com train, let's continue to talk about like what people can expect if they are visiting it for the first time. So if you are visiting biasboba.com for the first time and you have not supported us, you are not a member, when you visit us on biasboba.com, one, you will see what is publicly available right now. Typically, what we share to the public is like upcoming book club events, as well as kind of general announcements. And then also we have Paulette Imperial's blog post about her take on Philippine genealogy and politics. And yeah, so shout out to Paulette. We really appreciate your support on there. And I was thinking, Nani, and we talked about this last week. I was like, oh my gosh, I could write on there. So you all might start to see me post more blog entries on there that we will share in the newsletter, and that'll be available to the public.
Yeah. I think we just recently realized the blog capability on our website. And so we will be posting more blogs, whether they be from Jen or from me or from Paulette, our intern. So yeah, that's another place that you guys can go just for like, if you feel like reading and want to hang out with us, but not in a really engaging way. So there's another opportunity for you guys. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Another thing that you'll see just on the homepage alone is there are two ways that you can support us. And this actually gives you access to a lot of fun things. So if you support us with a minimum of 1 cup of boba, that gives you access to, first of all, an invitation to our book club. You will forever get the email invites to join us to our book club. And you also get access to all the posts that are available to anyone who has bought us a minimum of 1 cup of boba. Now, I haven't actually taken note of what kind of posts those are, but just know that it's generally more posts than you would see if you were just viewing our website from a public view. But I think what I like the most, Nani, when people buy us a minimum of 1 cup of boba is the book club. The fact that they're always welcome to join us, even if they never support us ever again. It's a great excuse for us to get together on a monthly basis and talk about the recent book we're reading, or if you didn't read the book, to just show up anyway and then hear our interpretation of it. But that's really what you get when you support us with a minimum of 1 cup of boba on biasboba.com.
I think it's a great opportunity. 1 cup of boba is $5. So if that is doable for you and not a financial stretch for you, I think it's a great opportunity for you to have access to our book club, which is very active, very poppin'.
Yeah.
We just finished our second book, actually, and are looking for input on what we should read next. So again, $5 is 1 cup of boba. If you are able to do that and are interested in the book club, it's a great opportunity. And if that is, not such a stretch for you, there's also the option to purchase more than 1 cup of boba should you wish to do so.
Yeah. And we will not hold you back.
And while we're here, shout out to Emmeline, who most recently bought us 3 cups of boba. So thank you, Emmeline.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you for checking the website and double checking. It's always important
since I'm here.
Yeah, since you're on the website. Love it. Yeah. And of course, you don't have to engage with us if you just want to show your support. Once again, a minimum of 1 cup of boba goes a long way. You have no idea. Our overhead is not that much, to be quite honest. And so because of how we work with our team, so like we said, even 1 cup of boba can go a long way to continue to make this a sustainable show. All right.
Yes.
Now, for people who want more, in addition to buying 1 cup of boba, if you want everything that the public sees and even be involved in the book club and you want more, you actually want access to our private podcast show, Tsismis with Jen and Nani, then that is a great opportunity to become a member. And so once you get added, we get notified and we actually give you a unique RSS feed that you manually input into your preferred podcasting platform to listen to our private podcast show, in which at this point we have 30 episodes published on there. And it's a combination of our archived live shows in the past. Shout out to the Filipino Momcast and a couple of other people that we have gone live with, Facebook Live to be more specific. And we have a lot of original content on there as well. We interview your dad, Nani, and I know that we've interviewed other people. We've interviewed a number of Filipino American men that we don't do publicly on TFAW. And so I know, shout out to Rachel, when she became a member, she said, oh, Tsismis with Jen and Nani is the rated R version of
I was
TFAW Project.
just going to say that. I think that is a quote that really sums up Tsismis with Jen and Nani, because I think, first of all, a lot of people are probably like, what's Tsismis if you don't know what that word means? And then second of all, they're just like, why do they have 2 podcasts? So the distinction between the two is Tsismis means gossip. And so it's us obviously being chismosas and speaking more candidly. And B, it's Rachel's summation in her quote where she says, Tsismis with Jen and Nani is like the rated R version of the TFAW Project. So if that's something that interests you, then you can head to biasboba.com to check it out.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I love everything that we have produced on there, Nani, and I love what we continue to put on there. In fact, in the short time that we have here left, we're going to do a Tsismis with Jen and Nani recording that'll be available the same time this episode comes out. So yeah, you really get a lot. And we do produce that. I mean, the way that we produce it continues to get better and better because of how consistent we've been running that show every other week. And yeah, I highly encourage you all to, like, if you want to dive in deeper and want to get to know Nani and I more and want to dive in deeper into this community, becoming a member is highly encouraged, is what I'm saying. So there you have it, Nani. We have biasboba.com. There are various ways you can engage with it. It just depends on how much engagement you want or how much content you want from us. Remember, you could even just look at it from a public view and, get our public post. But then, of course, if you want more, you want to be part of our book club, that is what the biasboba.com, that is what buying us a minimum of 1 cup of boba will get you. And then if you want more than that, you want access to our exclusive podcast show, Tsismis with Jen and Nani, then you can upgrade and become a biasboba.com member. Overall, we are doing this because of you. We're doing this because you see value in our work. And I can't even begin to explain the countless messages that I'm behind on, by the way, from our audience, just continually reminding us how much they value our show and how much they want to get to know us more and be in community with us specifically, Nani. And so this is why we do what we do, is really that sense of community, that sense of connection, and how this has even benefited us personally and professionally, to the point that you and I are talking shop now in other business opportunities.
Yeah. So stay tuned for that. But also, one more thing that I wanted to mention with Tsismis with Jen and Nani membership is that, sometimes we also open our TJN recording sessions to you guys.
Yeah.
To actually join us in conversation, or, some people just like to join on mute and listen if you're multitasking or sick or busy or whatever. But that is another thing that you get with your Tsismis with Jen and Nani membership on biasboba.com, is access to join our live recordings, whether it be in conversation or just to listen to us. So yes, there's also that.
Yes, love it. Yeah, and so there you have it. Happy 1-year anniversary, Nani, since we
Happy
officially
1-year anniversary.
Yeah, since we officially launched biasboba.com. I mean, we're a little like late, but I still think it's worth like taking a moment to be like, yeah, we did it. And
absolutely.
Also, I want to mention that June is 3 years since TFAW Project has become a podcast. We officially started the start of summer in 2019. And so it's just, I'm not really good at celebrating anniversaries. That's why I'm like, oh yeah, by the way, it's this. And so I just want to make sure I put that in there in case we don't do another bonus episode for a while. Happy 3-year anniversary.
Happy 3-year anniversary to the TFAW Project and to everyone involved in it, and mainly to our creator and founder and CEO, Jen.
Oh gosh. Thank you. I will receive that. I will receive that.
Yes.
And so we're just super appreciative for all of you. And just as a reminder, we do want to mention that there are still our quote unquote traditional ways of engaging with us. You can still send us a text via Google Voice. I know that some people had mentioned like, oh, can we still text you? And I'm like, oh yeah, you totally can. Like, you don't have to be part of the Discord community. I know that Discord community, it could be a lot for some people. They just want to engage with us directly. And just so you know, you can still do that via Google Voice, 415-484-8329. And you can also email us directly, jen@tfawproject.com, nani@tfawproject.com. And also, if you just kind of want to just stay in touch via newsletter, we have that available as well. We want to meet you where you're at, but we're also going to expand for people who want to engage more deeply with us. And so that's why we've been talking heavily about biasboba.com, because that is really a manifestation of all of us, wanting to continue to build a self-sustaining community together.
Yes. Amen to that.
Cool. Well, Nani, happy anniversary. Happy TJN 1-year anniversary, and happy 3-year anniversary for TFAW, the podcast version of it, at least. And I guess that's it. That's all the thoughts I have today. Thank you all. And we're just excited to continue to be in community with all of you. And we invite you to, if you haven't engaged with us directly, we welcome it. But if this is still your favorite form of consumption or favorite way of consuming our content, then that's okay too. That's why we show up like every now and then as a bonus
we're
episode.
Still here.
Yeah,
that
we're still
be the
here.
Title of this episode. We're still here.
Yeah, seriously. All right. Well, with that said, thank you all so much for listening. We love you all a lot, and happy summer. I think it's going to come out in summertime. So happy summer, y'all.
Happy summer, and we will see y'all on biasboba.com. Bye.
Hey everyone, Jen Amos here, and thank you for sticking around to the end of the latest episode here at TFAW Project to learn more about biasboba.com. And so I want to give you a tour of the website. And right now we're looking at tfawproject.com. That's TFAW project.com. And what I want to do is take us to biasboba.com. So when you visit us at biasboba.com, that link gets forwarded to buymeacoffee.com/Jen and Nani. But the short link, the easy link, would be biasboba.com. And so if you're watching via video, this is how the website looks like. You can see a photo of Nani and myself at the very top. And you can see that on biasboba.com, we are amplifying stories and life lessons by Filipino American women. And when you look at the front page, you'll always see the most recent video that Nani and I have done in regards to biasboba.com. I believe by the time you're watching this, you will see this particular video here on the home page. And we will be providing instruction here on how to support us and also how to contact us should you have any questions. Scrolling down on the homepage, especially if you're viewing this from the public eye, you can see who has supported us in the past. So for example, shout out to Emmeline, who just became a member of biasboba.com. And some people want to support anonymously. So thank you to someone for supporting us anonymously on biasboba.com. We also have other supporters meaning people support us a minimum of 1 cup of boba. So Clarissa, who actually is a member now as well, and also Shanda for supporting us. You can see all the people who have publicly supported us here on biasboba.com. And like I said, people can also support us anonymously as well. Now, if you're looking at this from the public eye, let me show you what you'll find. When you visit post, you'll be able to view everything that is considered public. So it does tell you which post requires that you either support us or become a member. So this first post, for example, says this post is for supporters only. And this is really those who supported us by buying a minimum of 1 cup of boba or actually being a member. So that's what the supporter post is for. The member post is basically information to our private podcast show, Tsismis with Jen and Nani. And so in order to have access to this particular post and this particular episode, you would have to become a member. And so I will show a little bit more about that and how to become either a supporter or a member later. But if you continue to scroll down, you will see posts that are public for everyone, such as our latest announcement with the Discord community. If you check out this post, you'll be able to read more and how to join our free Discord community to engage with Nani and I and our listener community. Also, for the public post, you will get announcements on our next book club in which anyone can join so long as you support us with a minimum of 1 cup of boba. So moving on here, you can see another post I want to share is from our intern, Paulette Imperial with the Bulasan Center. On occasion, she will share her take on what's going on in the Philippines, particularly when it comes to politics and Philippine genealogy. You can check out her interview with us on the TFAW Project episode 136 if you want to learn more about her and her involvement with the TFAW Project. So shout out to Paulette. But this is essentially what you get when you just check us out from a public perspective. Now you're probably wondering, okay, I want to become a member. I want to have access to some of these special posts. How do I do that? Well, when you go back to the homepage, what you'll find on the right column are 2 options. You can either support, which is basically supporting us with either 1, 3, 6, or you can choose the amount of cups of boba you want to buy us. And what you do is select the number either 135 or you put it in this box. We've had people in the past put 20 cups of boba, possibly more. Don't hold back. And what you can do is put your Twitter account if you want, and also say something nice to us. It's not required. And if you want to be an anonymous supporter, you could even make note here that you want it to be private. But once you support us and you support $5, it'll show you how to make payment. And from now on, moving forward, you will have access to our posts that are dedicated to our supporters, and you will always have an invitation to be a part of our monthly book club. And so that's essentially what you get when you decide to support us on biasboba.com. Now, while the supporter is a one-time commitment, the membership is a monthly commitment or an annual commitment. And this is really just you saying to us, I want to financially invest in the show. I want to financially invest in Jen and Nani to continue to create more Filipina-led media. And so that's really what your commitment is going to be here. So in addition to everything you already get from the public view and everything that a supporter gets, you also get, in addition to all of that, you also get exclusive access to our private podcast show, Tsismis with Jen and Nani. And so this gives you access to our private podcast where we archive a lot of our past Facebook Live shows, as well as original content that is only available on Tsismis with Jen and Nani. You won't get it anywhere else other than becoming a member at biasboba.com. And also, in part of that too, is you get access to the archived replays of the book club sessions. So let's say, for example, you supported us and wanted to be part of our book club, but you couldn't attend last minute. No worries. As a member, you get the replay of our book club sessions as a member, and it'll be archived in our private podcast, Tsismis with Jen and Nani. And also, you will get access to the posts. You'll see that any information about replays of the book club and any original content for Tsismis with Jen and Nani will be unlocked as a post in this section. So all of these will be unlocked for you to have access to. All right. Well, with that said, we hope that this is a easy video, easy walkthrough of what to expect when you support us on biasboba.com. I'm Jen Amos, creator and co-host of the TFAW Project and Tsismis with Jen and Nani. And on behalf of Nani and myself, I just want to thank you for your continual support to make this show possible. We truly meant it in this episode that the show literally wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for you, your financial support, you just making yourself visible to us by emailing us, texting us, joining our Discord community. However you want to support us, we are here for it. And especially if you want to support us financially, I hope that this video was helpful for you to learn how to do that. So thank you so much for watching, and we look forward to chatting with you in the next episode. Tune in next time.